Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again. I just got back from watching the third. This is not my ticket, but this is a ticket stub I could show physically because mine was online of Avengers Infinity War. Holy fucking shit, this movie was freaking awesome. I do have one major problem with the movie, but I'll get to that in a little while. That movie was exactly what I needed this year after such a rough year of freaking stress and being overweight and having accidents and just being sick. Yeah, this movie delivered in freaking spade. The first two acts of this movie are badass. I'm not going to say any spoilers because I want to save that for our spoiler podcast next month with the Nerd Pack. But damn it, this movie was freaking awesome. Everything in the movie worked until the end, but I'll get to that. The film looks great. Thanos is the villain that we should have gotten in freaking, in Disney Wars. Josh Brolin is a freaking boss in this role. His voice, it sounds like this. It's freaking awesome. Kylo Ren couldn't wipe Thanos' freaking ass because he has to be a whiny bitch and he doesn't get anything done. He kills old people. Thanos kills like a boss, but I'm not going to say who because I'm not spoiling the movie. But yeah, I saw this with a crowd that was on edge. I jumped out of my seat several times in the movie. The crowd was clapping a lot and laughing their asses off almost every step of the way. And to Sean and Anthony and Josh and everybody that says, oh, but what happened is not going to be rectified in the next movie. There's a fourth movie coming out next year, and I can't wait to see it. And we already know Captain Marvel's going to be in it. That's not a spoiler. We know Brie Larson was cast as Captain Marvel. She's going to be in her own movie next year. And then in Avengers 4, she's going to kick Thanos' ass. Thanos, Captain Marvel is coming for you next year. That's not a spoiler. That's the post-credit scene. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm just going to, there's one. I'm not going to say anything. But like I said, the performances were fantastic. Chris Evans always knocks it out of the park. His entrance in the movie is badass. Robert Downey Jr. still has the freaking wit, and he can still act so freaking well in this movie. He gets along with everybody. This is the best freaking ensemble cast in any superhero movie. In all three Avengers movies have the perfect freaking chemistry with the cast. Every single person in this movie, they work well off each other like they've known each other for years. It's just like the cast of the original Star Wars. Fuck Disney Wars. This movie was better than The Force Awakens and Rogue One and whatever happened in Last Failure. Sean, you cannot say this movie's any worse because this movie, yes, the one thing I don't like in this movie is the ending, and I'm not going to say anything. It's a cliffhanger. I don't care for it. I think it's kind of a, oh, you got to wait till next year. It's episodic, people. Remember, this is a comic book movie. They usually have episodic endings, like either a cliffhanger or it's downbeat, but then in the next movie, it could get rectified. There are plenty of Marvel movies that I hated the freaking ending. I didn't like the ending in freaking, what was it? The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That was going to lead to something that never happened. So it's like the third movie never happened. So where's the payoff? Nothing. The ending of Captain America, the First Avenger. I thought it was kind of bittersweet. Like Cap goes to the future and he says, I have a date, and that's it. It's not the best ending either. And Civil War is kind of like a sour ending as well. I'm glad that Tony didn't die at the end of Civil War, but, it's kind of the downer because everyone's in prison and then this happens and then this movie happens. So, yeah. I loved it, though. The action is fantastic. Fuck the people that said this movie had terrible action. The action in this movie blew my mind. Every scene, from the first 30 minutes of the movie, not going to say anything, to the middle of the movie, which has introductions to the characters that we know and love from the first two films and their individual movies. And the scene in the Wakanda, the final battle, was fucking awesome. You saw it in the trailer. It's not a spoiler. But every fight was just, everybody was clapping at the end. Well, except for what happens once, what Thanos does. But yeah, like I said, he's a boss in this movie. Every time I saw freaking Josh Brolin on screen, I did not want him to leave because he's freaking awesome. Like, this is a villain we've been waiting for since 2012 at the end of Avengers 1. It paid off in freaking spades. People were worried he's going to be underused and not do it. No, he's coming back in Avengers 4, and then Captain Marvel's going to kick his ass. Sean's like, but he has the Infinity Gauntlet with all the gems. You guys knew that was going to happen, but I'm not going to say what happens at the end. Who's going to stop him? Captain Marvel and her other team of Avengers. This movie, there's no spoilers. This movie didn't have Ant-Man or Wasp or freaking or Captain Marvel. There's just a sign of her at the end, but I'm not going to say when. And Hawkeye was not in this movie. Like, there's a reason why they kept him out of the movie, because he's not in the film. Just, they mention him, but they mention that he's doing something with Wasp and Ant-Man. So that's not much of a spoiler, because I'm like, they're not in the movie. So, yeah. It's hard to say this without spoilers, because damn it, I want to say so much. But I got to keep it short. I got to sleep in a few hours, in a little bit. I love the freaking movie. This is going to be in my top 5. I don't know if it's going to be my number 1. I haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet. I still haven't seen Mission Impossible 6 or Incredibles 2 or Ant-Man and Wasp. But damn it, this is going to be at least in my top 5. Right next to Black Panther. That had a better ending. Definitely. But this blew my mind. Like, everybody in the movie. Like, Scarlett Johansson is still as gorgeous as she's ever been. She's not in the film as much as the first two, but she's serviceable. She is better here than in Ghost in the Shell. Elizabeth Olsen is fantastic. Her emotion in the movie drives this. Gamora, freaking Zoe Saldana, Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth. Everybody in this movie is freaking awesome. Everybody. I don't want to hear there was a bad thing. There's some people wasted in the beginning, but it's part of the plot, so you got to just see it for yourself. I loved it. This movie was freaking just... It's just what the doctor ordered. I like Justice League, but it should have been more like this. Have some balls. Not be freaking, dark and gritty and then have interference by a studio. When you let a studio do their work, great things happen. And this movie's going to make a shit ton of money. I can't wait to see the freaking Blu-ray when it comes out eventually in a couple months. Not going to buy it right away. I'm going to wait because I want to get Black Panther first. But yes, this movie was a freaking payoff. And we're going to get a fourth movie with the cast back. Don't worry. What happens? You will see what happens in part 4. Thanos is going down. We're not going to see him for like 5 movies. That's not a character. 2 movies is enough. Remember, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows had the same ending. It has a cliffhanger ending because the next one came out like a few months later. Same thing with Desolation of Smaug and Last Failure. You think that had an upbeat ending? Yeah, no, it didn't. But this movie, it entertained me all the way through until the end, which I didn't like. But that can't diminish how much I really enjoyed the film. Spidey, it was good to see him again. Stanley's cameo, not going to say when it was fun to watch. Got a lot of reaction, a lot of applause, a lot of jumping, a lot of positive energy. And Marvel knocked it out of the park again. Guys, there's a reason. DC, take notes. Aquaman's not going to be better than this. It's going to be there. It's not going to be a grandiose. This movie has an epic freaking finale. And when Avengers 4 comes out, we're going to see the end of Thanos. We are going to see it. He has this really great voice, and he sounds like this, and he's purple. And the jokes in this movie were spot on. I'm not going to say anything. They're hilarious. I laughed my ass off in the theater. I clapped a lot of the times. There's emotion and depth in this movie. Something that Disney Wars has never had. All of their emotion is freaking artificial, and it comes right out of their ass. There's no emotion. The only emotion I got in Rogue One was when Darth Vader was killing a bunch of people, and he's not even the villain of that movie. Thanos is the villain, and he freaking has it in spades. His henchmen, I'm not going to say who they are, but they looked awesome. The makeup effects and the CGI looked fantastic. I didn't feel like I was watching something fake. It's a grand epic in space and on the ground, and it paid off. And the movie worked a long way. It was. The Russos did a good job. They did a great job for doing this. The next one will be the last one. It's fine. And end it on a high note, guys. Just do that for me. I hope I make it to 2019 so I can see the Avengers come back and just kick Thanos' ass. And we know what's going to happen. I can see things before they happen. I know Captain Marvel's going to get her own movie. She's going to be great. And then she's going to kick Thanos' ass. Woman empowerment is going to win this time. We all know that. Who was the one that killed in Justice League? Who killed freaking Steppenwolf? A woman. Wonder Woman. Who's going to kill that purple pain in the ass? Captain Marvel. Brie Larson. I have all the faith in the world that she's going to knock it out of the park, guys. People in the theater were asking, wait a minute, who's Captain Marvel? Read the comics, watch the cartoons, and watch her movie next year in March. She's going to freaking deliver. People don't know how capable and powerful she is. She can kick Thanos' ass. I guarantee it. No way he's going to be like, to her, no. She is going to kick his ass all the way to freaking Chinatown. But that's my review, guys. My non-spoiler review of Avengers Infinity War. Part 1. Yes, it's going to be 2 parts. In case you didn't notice, next year, we don't have to wait 3 years for the next one. Next summer, 2019, we are going to we're going to freaking stick a fork in it. It's done. Thanos is going to get his ass kicked all the way through. And, you know, why am I pulling for that? Because I'm like, let's face it, if this movie, let's just say, hypothetically, if everybody died in this movie, which, by the way, doesn't happen, just to let you know, if this was Rogue One, I would have been depressed. But I'm not. I just say, yeah, the ending was stupid. I didn't like it. The audience was kind of confused. But will we get a payoff next year? We will. Avengers Forever. I love this movie. I wish I could jump to the sky, but I don't want to hit the ceiling. I'm very tired. I had a great time in the theater. I will watch this movie again, just not in the theater. Because that ending just... excuse me. But yeah, really, really enjoyable film. If you want to be entertained, the first 2 acts of this movie, like the 2 hours, are worth the freaking price of admission. It is. Every single second. You know what Thanos reminded me of? He sounded like the Thing from Fan 4 Stick, but done in the right way, with better CGI that doesn't look like shit. And that movie didn't have a good ending either, people. And that movie had a, oh, they're going to call them Fantastic Four, and there's never going to be a sequel. We are getting an Avengers 4 next year. Mark my words. And I can't wait to see it. So, I loved Avengers Infinity War. As John, the first movie will always be the best. I love that movie to pieces. I love it. I love it to the very end. And that ending of the first movie was fantastic. It's still unmatched. The second movie, it gets a lot of shit, but I love that movie just as much. Those 2 are better than this only because of the endings. But it's not a bad movie. This is not Last Stand. This is not X-Men Apocalypse. That's not going to have a payoff. You know what's going to happen? Dark Phoenix is going to turn Dark Phoenix out of nowhere. Some of the X-Men are going to die, and they're going to reboot it when Disney gets their hands on Fox. So, there's your payoff, Sean. Yeah, I have no hope for that movie compared to this movie coming out next year, Avengers 4. That's going to come out of the Dark Phoenix and New Mutants are going to come out in the same month, and they're not going to do as well. And they're not going to get the 90% of Rotten Tomatoes. This movie deserves a praise. Fuck the haters. I'm going to say that. Fuck you, DC hating haters. And all of you dumbasses on YouTube that said, the movie was fine, but I don't need to see it again. Yeah, you know who you are. And I'm going to say this right now. Nobody does it better than Marvel. They still got 2 more movies coming out this year. One non-MCU movie, which is Deadpool 2. That's my next destination. And then in July, we have Ant-Man and Wasp, which I'm looking forward to because I love the first one. And it was a little movie that could. And it's going to have a great freaking Wasp. Avengers 4 is going to have a lot of feminism, but done the right way. So fuck you, Episode 9. You're never going to top this movie. Solo isn't going to be better than this movie. That's going to be fan service the movie and nothing else. Here, it's like this movie was a fan movie for me. Everything they did in it, except for the ending, was just like, I love this. This is speaking to me. This movie gets me. That's why I love movies, guys. I have thousands of movies on DVD and Blu-ray. I bought a bunch of these films on Blu-ray because I believe in them. And when we have another movie next year, it's going to be even better. So, yeah. Infinity War Forever, man. Can't wait for part 2 next year. Payoff. Thanos, your ass is grass. Captain Marvel is going to come out of the sky, kick ass in her movie in March. Then May or April, whenever the next movie comes out, she's gonna take her fist and ram it down your freaking throat and pull out your goddamn spine. Later, guys.